clues to the con artist. It's again, it's I'm glad that so much is coming out on all different sides um, in the Black community, so that we can see the patterns of how folks are being scammed, and conned, and so that we can just really be clear and know that you're not exempt from being conned by somebody with the same skin color, who can drop key phrases of words that usually get us open in terms of feeling like, oh, we're familiar, we know this person, we have so much in common, we're eating the same food, and they make all these assumptions that we know people when we really do not. And we have a bad habit of vouching for people who we have not lived with, who um, we have not lived with up close and personal for long periods of time, and have had opportunity to see them under stress when there's challenges with resources, or when problems come up, how they resolve conflict, and we assume a lot of times that we know people and we do not. So there were some clues that we were being conned, and this stuff accumulated over a period of time because things just didn't add up. Some of the stories that we were told by while in the cult, which we didn't realize it was a cult at the time, the cult of Joseph Robinson, aka self-proclaimed high priest KWATAMANI. You can look up on YouTube and see his video and see how sketchy it is of when did you become a high priest, and see how elusive his answer is. And really, again, many of us, we're addicted to saviors and religions. It means whole new levels of responsibility and critical thinking. So in any event, some of the things that this elder man with locks eating raw fruits and vegetables would say, his queen mother, the dark-skinned woman who was born in Africa, from Sierra Leone and Liberian heritage, her family line. One of the things he had said, she got with him when she was very, very young. Her mother sent her to live with him, and then years later she became his mate. She was groomed to become his mate. She was a very young girl, so it was many, many years, decades of a difference. But anyway, one thing he said was that he had this famous solar hotel in Africa, and again, we get distracted by the stories because we love stories. And he said that we had clothes, we had all these businesses, these things in Africa. We had this business, and they catered to a lot of tourists. And he said that they made he used locals, to create business and help feed the people. And they used to make these bathing suits. One of the things he sold, all these different African clothing, and people would buy from them, and also buy his raw foods that he had. And they made these bathing suits. And he said they would do fashion shows, and the queen mother, right, the mate out of the 5 right now that's been with him the longest, they were modeling the bathing suits for these white tourists, Caucasian tourists, and she was modeling them, and then he said that the tourists would want to buy the clothes right off of them, and she was younger at the time, and she was modeling the swimsuit, and then she had to take it off and give it to because somebody wanted to buy it, and she wanted to hold on to it. And this is what he was telling the story. I'm like, this is your queen mother. I have to question you. These are the things, these are the signs of a pimp. Why do you have your queen mother or whoever modeling a bikini for tourists? So your culture, all this, now when you're a high priest at this point, when we expect a high priest to have his mate, one of his sacred mates, to be modeling a bikini, not African print or anything, something where she's, even if it's African print, where she's modeling a scanty bikini for tourists. See, these are the things that don't add up. Things he would say, it was like just did not go with in the context of what he was saying. So it's the high priest of what? This man just had some things that really just made me question his character, and that was what was a deal breaker. Raw living foods, nothing wrong with it. Community, nothing wrong with it. Even the fact that he had multiple mates, that wasn't the concern. But the different things that people usually won't ask, because especially women, because we don't want to be rude, it's how all those different mates came to be there, and you're not allowed to question him because he's the elder, right? We don't question our elders. So it falls into all these ingrained principles But these are things that were manipulated. You know, the position of fatherhood and elder and someone looked up to, were manipulated. Because then you don't want to appear rude and question the elder. But he was saying just different things that made him sound like a pimp. Here's another thing. Clue. He said, all I want is your soul. Leaned forward to me and said, this sounds so crazy. I would never expect it. All I want is your soul. What kind of context can you put that in? First of all, I'm not a child. Whatever age I'm in, like, what are you talking at? All I want, and the context, whatever conversation we were having, you know, something I didn't agree with, and once again, I'm asking questions. All I, you know, it's like, I don't want anything from you. All I want is your soul. You know, this stuff is like spookadook or whatever, and just trying to psych me out. Another time, well, numerous times, he would use different language to really incite you, you know, fear mongering from things that are going on out in the world. And yes, there's tragedies and people shooting, all this other stuff, but it was really like a fear mongering, basically, so that none of his children and mates would ever have to leave the land. And I heard another time with the young Belizean recruits, one of the males saying about his future mate at that point. They hadn't been in a union yet, hadn't that you know, he didn't ever want his mate to leave the land without him. So just all this stuff is like just cumulative over time for you to see certain patterns. Also thinking that these are people that you trust and hold in esteem. It is become apparent to me to trust principles more than people, because sometimes you just don't have any idea of what people are capable of. And I have learned that all kinds of people, male and female, are capable of doing all different kinds of things. This could have been a man at one point, was very honorable, but things that he's doing to survive that are dishonorable, and just take on these just pimp qualities. Some of the stories that he was just telling us from a high priest of what? Another time he said, you know, if the feds come in here, I'm going to deny everything. I said, why would he say something like that? A high priest is honorable. Why would you ever need to lie and say you would deny something? It was just so many things. So when things don't add up, they don't add. They just don't add up. And towards the end of our stay there, they were just saying different things that just was crazy. And I was really feeling like, yo, we are being framed or set up the more I ask questions about immigration and the land and so on. So it's really, it's so much bigger than money. Although I recommend, please don't put your trust in any of these leaders out here. Put your trust in your common sense, your own ability to clean up your eating, and to work things out with your family. Don't put these people, these elders up on pedestals, because trust is something that has to be earned on both ends. Please get a contract. You get a switch and bait of a contract with us. And you know what's so shameful is that you know, I'm the one that came offering all my resources. So I feel like, why would you really try to pimp out and play somebody that came offering and contributing so much that I thought there was something of worthy cause? I could not have bargained for the things that were shown to me about being dishonorable and not being transparent. And I really couldn't have bargained for all the information that's come forward about how this man was dealing with young women. So don't trust him around your daughters or your young people. He definitely uses Joseph Robinson, aka High Priest KWATAMANI, self-proclaimed Earth, Soul, and Messiah. Like many other cult leaders before him, he knows the right things to say to the right people at the right time, whether you're in government, to stroke your ego, if you have issues with your child, or you know, if you are fearful for your child. These are things that are exploited if you're a single woman, a single black mother. You know, your ego, easy target. And yes, there are some women, numerous women, and several of his mates have double degrees. One is a brilliant lawyer, whose spirit looks so broken in there. I mean, it's just so, just broken. This is a woman that tried to leave before. Another one of his mates is highly intelligent, both of them from the States. Three of his mates, they have master's degrees. So it's not just ignorant ghetto hood woman that can be scammed. So it's a lot of mental and working and needling in and grinding on people's insecurities and feeling like they have nothing or no one. But because the devil's going to tell you the truth. The devil, the con, is going to tell you about a con. What he's going to put the truth in plain sight in your face, but it's a twisting of the context of words and changing and manipulating and being in control of the meanings of words. Whether that's mourning, you know, it's controlling your language, when mourning can mean prior to the meridian, what point the sun is, or if morning, you're in mourning. I mean, if you know how to spell, you know, mourning, if you're sad, is MOURNING. Just so much context and plays with words, and people getting you caught up in stories and semantics to distract you. So if you're not putting on your critical thinking hat, if you want so badly to fit in, you're right for being scammed, especially those folks that think it can't happen to them. And it's real out here. So much is being revealed. There's really an opportunity for us to see, so we can make some other decisions. that are really going to rest on us. But I don't recommend anybody, male, young adults, anybody, send any money over there, because the people that he talks so bad about, just like with these other cult leaders, who wind up financing him and his harebrained schemes for basketball courts, which I contributed to, did fundraisers for, his temple, which is sitting there molding. I'm sure they're going to have a ceremony for the new babies, for the new people that are being impregnated. It's just so much. I couldn't even get it out all at one time. But it's really necessary for us to be able to see, step back, and look at the patterns, and not be so being impressed by things that we want to see. Because I was in this cult, which I came to see later, with family members, and I came there, fortunately, paying my own way. Fortunately, I had some common sense, and fortunately, I'm not at the respect has to be mutual, right? Respect has to be earned. You just don't get it, because there are people on this planet who will abuse father positions, priest positions, leader positions, for their own appetites and for their own purposes. And some of them actually literally don't have any kind of remorse. Okay? So, to critical thinking Cap One, there's a lot for us to see, so we can take responsibility. And the romanticism will blind you, right? Just wanting to be liked, not wanting to be rude. You want to be respectful, but that's all you're obligated to do, is to be respectful. Do your own research. If you want to travel, save up your money, do it the right way. You know, don't feel like your back is up against the wall. I'm desperate, because that's usually going to make some decisions that may not be the best. All right? Take care.